Alright, so here's what we've got for upcoming projects. So, I know this is the back of it. We got 1990 F350 that we have named Magnus. This is my brother's newest edition. It is a 1990 Ford F350 7.3 International non-turbo motor, or the 7.3 IDI. Picked it up for $1,000. But he's got roughly like somewhere between 3,000 and 3,800 in it. Now that's with the purchase price. We just pulled the bed off of it today. That's why there's no bed on it. The bed's all torn up, so we're gonna try to find a flatbed for it. It's still kind of a mess. We're still working on it. This is our new kind of workshop. It's a 12 by 16 shop. It's not big, it's not massive. We can't pull vehicles into it, but it's a good place to store all of our tools, our equipment, and you know, anything else that we see fit. It is a lofted barn. It does have a small loft. You can kind of see the edge of it right there. We finally have welding and plasma cutting outlets. Basically just 240 volt. I forget how many amp they are, but we've got a 200 amp service going to it. It's got its own meter and power box and all that, so everything. We should never have a problem with electricity again until the power goes out, obviously. Then right here I've got a second gen Dodge front axle that I'm putting under my 78 Power Wagon, which is not currently here, or else it would be in this video too. We've got FUBAR, my brother's 1991 Isuzu Trooper. Fucked up beyond all recognition, as he refers to it. That's why it's named FUBAR. It is being solid axle swapped, or has been solid axle swapped for the most part. Still got to do shocks, but it's getting a 4.3 liter GM motor and a 200 R4 out of a 86 or 87 Monte Carlo. Got a 1986 Isuzu Trooper, round headlight, 2-door. Kind of hard to find around here. Kind of hard to find in general, and when you do find them, people don't want to let them go. He found this one for a good price, bought it, and we're getting ready to do an engine swap because it desperately needs a new engine. Got my 98 Tahoe right there. I got in a car accident with it back last year. I T-boned a minivan with it. It did some damage. It was repairable, but with everything the truck needed as well, a full suspension, some interior work, nothing crazy. The truck's only got 111,000 miles on it, so it's a relatively low mile for a 98 model. But it's got the Vortec 350 in it. It's the Spider injection, 5.7 liter. It's got a 4L60 behind it. I believe it's either a 208 or a 235 transfer case. I don't remember. But that drivetrain and computer, harness, dash, and front seats are coming out of that. That's going to the scrapyard, and then everything that I pull out is going into my 78 Power Wagon as a drivetrain. Yes, I'm putting a GM motor in a Dodge. Get over it. Kind of peeking right there is 85 Suburban, or Kyle Maddox. He's my brother. But that is his 1985 Chevrolet Suburban K20. It's got a Blueprint crate motor in it. Slightly upgraded. I wouldn't say built, but slightly upgraded. Turbo 400 in it. They're behind the motor, just to kind of handle the horsepower. The Blueprint motor was brand new. We put it in there. We pulled the original, what we believed to be the original motor out, because it was just tired and worn out. We couldn't get it to do anything. So we put that Blueprint motor in there. It's somewhere around 370 horsepower, around 400 foot-pounds of torque. Plenty for that truck. And again, being 3/4 ton, or a K20, it is a 3/4 ton model. It's got solid front and rear axles, obviously. They are the 3/4 ton axles, 8 lug. This truck puts in some work for us. We built a custom bumper for it. It's got a bunch of stuff on it added on. It's got lights. It's got an emergency light bar that you can kind of see up the top there, somewhere like right there. And we've done a whole bunch of stuff to that truck over the last few years. And then down there is FAFO. Fuck around and find out. Currently, he has an engine hoist strapped in the back that we use to pick up the bed off the F350 and to move this front axle over here. Works fine. It's got some transmission issues, but it is what it is. It runs and drives for the most part. It's not really street legal yet because I don't have a title for it, but it can drive on the street. It's got lights, it's got turn signals, tail lights, brake lights, all that good stuff. I don't have the high beams wired in, but I don't really need them with this truck. Then we've got my new trailer. Picked up this trailer there from a buddy of mine, helping him clean up the property, said I could have it. It's got mobile home axles. We're going to put some either some 7K axles or 9K axles on it. It's got 3 axles currently. We're going to go to 2 axles. So we're going to have either a 14,000 pound or an 18,000 pound rated trailer. It was built about 30 plus years ago to haul I think it was like a D5. No, I can't remember. It was basically to haul a bulldozer. So it's all built out of like C-channel and I-beam, and this thing is heavy. It's got a permanent bow in it because when you would load the bulldozer on it, it would flatten out like a semi-trailer does. But we don't have anything that heavy, so we're just going to use it as a car trailer. We've added onto it. You can see the blue bits, there and there on the sides. We added on from a trailer that we cut apart that was rusted out on the back end. And then we're going to add a dovetail to it as well as building some heavy-duty ramps that hopefully won't bend for a long time. The goal is to get it just long enough to haul FAFO and FUBAR. So that's a tall order already. I don't think it's gonna happen, but you know, we can try. And then we've got, so let's start here. So that there is another 88. It's an 88 Isuzu Trooper. It was a 4-door square headlight. Nothing super fancy. It had some front end damage, so we cut everything off the front, pulled the motor trans out, pulled the front diff out, and basically turned it into a trailer. At one point, it was going to be turned into a miniature camper to haul behind his other 88 that's the exact same body and exact same color. But we have since turned it into a steel trailer, and by that I mean it holds all of our scrap steel, all of our spare steel, and all of our small stuff. And then here is Project Hemis. Help me, I'm stuck. This is our off-road tow truck project. It is nowhere near completion at all. Sorry, there's an ant on my phone. Currently it just has half-ton Dodge axles up under it just because that's what we had. Because when we bought this truck, it was nothing but a body and a frame and rear leaf springs. It had nothing else on it. No motor, no trans, no interior, no drive line at all. So I had these axles laying around. We modified them to fit on this truck just so we can roll it around and move it as needed. Steering's not even hooked up. We just kind of have to kick the tires as we roll it. But we do have a 14-bolt rear end to go up under it and a corporate 10 for the front. We're trying to find a one-ton front axle to put up under it instead of that corporate 10, so we can keep the corporate 10 up under FUBAR, because the axle that's under FUBAR is the axle that's supposed to be for this truck. And then the rear axle is a spare rear axle that Kyle found. It is a it's a 12 bolt. I can't remember. It's a 3/4 ton. It's the same one that's in the Suburban, but it's got the G80 locker in it as well, and so we're not worried about that axle. It's just the front that we were worried about. But this truck is going to get a supercharged Chevrolet 350. Nothing crazy. It's probably be around 400 to 500 horsepower. If we get more, that's awesome. If not, it's not a big deal. We don't want to overpower the motor and have to tear it apart every time we take this thing out. But it's meant to be a recovery truck for off-road scenarios. We understand and know that there are other YouTubers that have these trucks, and there's currently more of them being built. But we started this project a little over 2 years ago when there weren't many around, at least not known like they are now. They were, some of them were around, they just weren't known of as well as they are. But we've got a Holmes style Challenger wrecker bed from 1972 that we're putting on it. It is all 1/4-inch steel. It's gonna have a 24,000 pound winch in it, 24 volt, while the rest of the truck's gonna be 12 volts. It's gonna have a full roll cage on the interior, custom interior, obviously. It's gonna be that's a very long-term project for us. It's gonna require a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of patience, which neither of us really have. So other than that, at the moment, that's really all I've got for you. Yeah, that seems about it. So if you want to see more, stick around. I'll try to upload as much as I can. I am going to post this to TikTok and YouTube, because I would like to start trying to use my YouTube again, at least posting more, and at least just posting, really. I haven't posted on there in a while. So if you want to see more, stick around. Give me a follow. Give me a like, if you will. It really helps out. Share the video. Try to get it out there, so that way we can show people what we're working on, just to kind of help anybody that's building any vehicles. Thanks, guys.